Saturn enters Aries. Time meets fire. A new collective phase begins. Today, February 15, 2026, Saturn leaves Pisces and enters Aries, where it will remain until April 2028. Neptune made the same passage only a few weeks ago. This is not a small shift. This is the closing of a long emotional season. The years of fog. The years of confusion. The years in which structures dissolved quietly. Saturn in Pisces confronted us with what had no form. Invisible fears. Hidden weaknesses. Unspoken disillusionments. Many systems weakened. Many certainties collapsed. It felt like walking through mist without clear direction. Now the atmosphere changes. The fog begins to lift. The air becomes sharper, more direct, more demanding. We enter a time that requires definition, a time that asks for action, a time that does not allow indefinite waiting. But before understanding Saturn in Aries, we must remember who Saturn truly is. Saturn in astrology is the principle of maturity. It governs responsibility, consequences, time, karma. Where Saturn moves, it tests. It asks for coherence. It removes what is weak. It strengthens what is solid. But Saturn is older than astrology. In Greek mythology, Saturn is Cronus. Cronus was a titan born from Uranus the sky and Gaia the earth. Uranus feared his own children. He feared being replaced. So he imprisoned them inside Gaia. Creation was blocked. Growth was suppressed. Gaia suffered and asked Cronus to act. Cronus rose against his father. With a sickle he separated sky from earth. He created space. He created order. He created a new era. But power carries fear. A prophecy warned Cronus that he too would be overthrown by one of his children. Fear entered his reign, and fear distorted him. To prevent the prophecy, he swallowed his children at birth, one after another. Time-consuming life, time-devouring potential. Only Zeus survived. Hidden, protected. When Zeus matured, he returned. He forced Cronus to release what had been swallowed, and he ended his rule. This myth speaks about cycles. No power is eternal. No structure survives without evolution. Time builds. Time destroys. Time selects. Cronus represents the law of maturation. If something is premature, it will not endure. If something is fragile, it will collapse. Saturn does not punish. It reveals what is not ready. It asks for inner authority. It asks for alignment between action and truth. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It is the first spark, the first breath after silence. It represents the moment life pushes forward. It is pure fire, immediate, instinctive, unfiltered. Ruled by Mars, it symbolizes action, initiative, courage, and assertion. Aries does not analyze endlessly. It acts. It breaks stagnation. It opens doors. It is the energy of pioneers, of warriors, of those who begin without certainty. But Aries' energy is raw. It is powerful but unrefined. It burns quickly. It reacts quickly. It does not always calculate consequences. When Saturn enters Aries, time meets this raw fire. Impulse encounters structure. Speed meets resistance. This is not suppression. It is training. It is discipline applied to instinct. The fire does not disappear. It becomes focused. Saturn in Aries teaches strategic courage. Not impulsive reaction. Not reckless movement. It teaches endurance. It teaches long-term commitment. It transforms the warrior into a commander. The central question becomes deeper now. Who are we choosing to become through our actions? Because Aries acts first. Saturn remembers later. This transit demands accountability. Every initiative will require structure. Every beginning will require continuity. This is the maturation of will. Not only desire, not only passion, but sustained direction. On a collective level, Saturn in Aries may signal a time of strong definition. Leadership structures may shift. New figures may emerge. Old authorities may be tested. Aries rules identity and assertion. Saturn demands responsibility for that assertion. Political climates may become more direct, less ambiguous, more confrontational, but also more decisive. Periods of hesitation may end. Nations may redefine boundaries. Strategies may be restructured. Military and security systems may be reorganized. New initiatives may begin with long-term impact. This transit does not support confusion. It supports clarity through action. The world may move from diffuse uncertainty into open positioning. This is not automatically chaos. It is exposure. It is definition. And definition always requires courage. Saturn in Aries opens a new cycle of collective maturation. It is the beginning of a 2-year lesson about disciplined action. The fire is available, but it must be directed. It must be sustained. It must be responsible. It is no longer enough to start. What matters is continuation. It is no longer enough to desire. What matters is construction. Time will test every initiative. Time will evaluate every structure built now. Only what is authentic will endure. Only what is coherent will last. Because Saturn is time. And time preserves only what is true. If this reflection resonates with you, write in the comments where you are listening from. It helps create a map of this collective moment. And if you feel that a new phase is beginning, share this message with someone who is ready to act with maturity and courage. I will see you in the next exploration.